Our friends at FanDuel favor the Chiefs by 3.5 points. Do you think the Texans pull off the upset or at least cover, I guess, for
I'm
everybody going up on FanDuel and checking that out?
I'm a glutton for punishment, and this will probably age poorly, but I'm going to pick the Texans to pull off the straight off upset. If I didn't have the emotional attachment, if I was looking at it as an outsider, I think the Texans are due against the Chiefs for the breaks to go their way. Like, I don't think it's a bad matchup. You look at the two from the last month of last season, the regular season, they were right there until the Tank Dell injury. And in the playoffs, I think they outgained the Chiefs. I want to say like 340 yards to 210, something like that. They didn't finish drives well. They had a very unfriendly whistle, I thought, or unfriendly flags. I Bleav you'd call it in the NFL, you saying unfriendly whistle as an NBA guy. Point is, I don't think the officiating was in their favor. They outplayed the Chiefs overall. I don't think it's a bad matchup, and that's before we go into the fact that this year's Chiefs team is not the same as last year's, and I think the Texans defense is better. You'd be foolish to count out the Chiefs. There's a reason they're favored. They're going to be a desperate team. But I also think that them, especially being favored by 3.5, if I had to make a prediction, I'd go with the Texans. But the safer one would be taking the Texans plus 3.5. That leaves you a little bit of wiggle room in case, Harrison Butker makes a high leverage kick late. Maybe the Chiefs escape by 2 or 3 points. But a lot of the line comes down to the mystique factor of the Chiefs at home with Patrick Mahomes, night game against a team they've historically dominated. But if you look a little bit closer, if you look underneath the hood, the Texans have been very competitive in their last couple of matchups with the Chiefs. They've been close. If I didn't have the emotional connection, I'd probably be more authoritative in saying, hey, like the Texans, they're on the ascent. The Chiefs are on the decline. The Texans are due for some breaks to go their way. I don't want to fully buy into that because hashtag Houston Sports. I've been traumatized by the Chiefs and Pat Mahomes over the years. But logically, I think that the Texans are trending in the right direction and they should be due for a bounce to go their way in a way that it didn't in those two games late last season.